Hey there survivors, how's it going? I'm your host Douglas here at Dromboy Productions, bringing you another Halloween collecting video. We've recently been taking a look at some new Halloween pieces from Trick or Treat Studios, including the Corey Cunningham mask, but we've also been taking a look at the Rob Zombie Halloween Michael Myers masks. So far, we've seen the original 92 murder mask, the decayed, buried version, and now we're going to be taking a look at a Rob Zombie Halloween 2 mask. We kind of went in the opposite order with the first movie, doing the buried mask first and then the murder mask. But today we're going to start out with the first one you see in the film, with the dream sequence mask. I actually don't know what Tots specifically calls this version. It may be the dream sequence, but that's what we're going to call it. It's also been nicknamed the white satin before, if you're talking about like the Della Torre masks or other artists, but this thing is really, really cool. I gotta say, personally, out of every version of the Michael Myers mask that is featured in the Rob Zombie films, the version from the beginning of Halloween 2 is my favorite. It's a bit more ripped up and decayed than the previous look, and beyond that you have this massive gunshot wound to the side of the head here, from where Laurie shot him at the end of the previous film, and then of course he's being transported by the coroners, he makes his escape, and makes his way to the hospital. I just really love the way the mask looks during that intro, the way it's drenched in blood on the side, the really matted, kind of like wet looking hair. It especially gets wet looking later on when they go back outside of the hospital. It's just a really cool look. And also, this mask technically does double as another look in the film. There's a bit more of like a darker, decayed version that doesn't really have the blood on it that Michael is wearing towards the beginning before the side of the face gets ripped off. So if you paint this in that style, this is pretty much the same mask for that look, but Trick or Treat Studios decided to release it, of course, with a nice bloody look. So from Trick or Treat Studios, you're just getting the bloody dream sequence look, but if you do a bit of paint work to it, you can have that decayed look in the actual beginning of the film as well. So kind of a dual purpose piece, pretty cool. And for those of you watching who don't know, these are pulled from the Screen Use mold. That's pretty freaking awesome. Trick or Treat Studios has done this with their entire Rob Zombie Halloween lineup, and of course they've done it for some other movies as well, but this one is just one of my favorite looks, and the texture on this copy is just absolutely insane. Compared to the other masks, the texture on this is just super crisp, and beyond that, the paint job definitely makes the texture pop, because they painted it honestly kind of dark. It looks like they based out the mask in a darker color and then kind of sponged on or brushed on, dry brushed the white on, and it's really dark. And personally, I think this is a little bit too dark for the actual movie mask. Beyond that, there's a little bit of weathering around some of these cracks here. It's just kind of like brown, and I think it's maybe a bit too much for the movie. Of course, the sculpture is 100% accurate, so if you intend to repaint this or touch it up yourself, you don't have to worry about that. But as far as stock, personally, out of all the different versions so far that we've taken a look at, there is, of course, one more, but out of the ones we've seen so far, I think this one is probably the least good-looking stock, and it's mostly just due to how dark it is compared to the rest of the lineup. If you put all of them stock side by side, this one definitely sticks out quite a bit. And it seems to be that that's just how they kind of have the finishing done on these, because most of them seem to have the same appearance. As for the blood itself, it's not a bad blood as far as the gloss and color of it. It looks nice, but they just kind of like sponged it on, so it looks like it's just kind of like pressed into the mask instead of kind of like beating up. And I guess the best way to put it is it doesn't really lend itself texture-wise to look like that natural bloody look. But yet again, you're talking about something mass-produced, and honestly, for mass-produced blood, I do think this looks pretty good. But just, yet again, if you're trying to compare it to like screen accuracy and have those perfect details, it's not going to be that factory-wise. The hair on this one, however, is very nice. Personally, at least this copy is better than the others that we've taken a look at so far, the Halloween 1 masks. With just a little bit of styling, the hair on this is going to look a lot better. So really no real complaints hair-wise. It just needs to be teased up and kind of made into those nice locks that you see with that Rob Zombie Myers mask look. The sculpt, really nice pronounced features and details, super textured, it looks cool. But personally, like I said, just that stock paint is a bit off compared to the other copies. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the excerpt from the Trick or Treat Studios website, because I always try to read it these days. Alright, so here we go. We have the Halloween 2 Rob Zombie's Remake 2009 Dream Mask. And this one actually is $69.99. So with the first two, those were both $60. This one is $10 more. Sculpted by Wayne Toth, who of course made the masks for the film, and for you Ghost fans, he also did Papa 2's mask. And just if you're a fan of horror or music in general, he has done a ton of work. So Wayne is a very, very well-known artist. From Rob Zombie's Halloween series comes the officially licensed Dream Mask. This version of the mask is from Laurie Strode's delirious vision of Michael in her dreams. Our Halloween 2 2009 masks were developed using the film-used master mold direct from special effects artist Wayne Toth, who made the masks for the film. And it actually does say here, photo is an artist's prototype, production masks finishing may vary, production run photos will be updated once available. So yeah, what they have here is a bit better, because this one, like I said, it just looks super heavily textured from how they like sponged on or dry brushed on the white. It really shows how much there is to the sculpt, but as far as looking screen accurate, it's just a bit much, and that can definitely be seen in the product photos. As for the blood, it's not terrible. You know, you could actually just add a bit more blood on top of what's already there and make it look a lot better. But yeah, overall, it's not a bad mask. For $69.99, it is a little bit higher than the others, but personally, if you're trying to complete the entire set, whether you want to have them repainted or maybe you just want to have them stock, because these are officially licensed masks, I say it's definitely worth grabbing. As an officially licensed piece, because there are people out there who collect them and leave them stock, I think it's still pretty nice, especially compared to, and let me remind you all of this yet again, what we would have gotten years ago. From Dawn Post, one of the most prestigious mask-making companies, this is what their Rob Zombie Halloween Myers masks look like. So, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I'm very happy to have these, especially the fact that it's screen-used mold. Like I said, you couldn't get a blank of anything screen-used mold for $70, so great price there. So if you're interested in getting one of these for your collection or cosplay, go pick it up from trickortreatstudios.com, or you can get them in person at Party City, and of course they're available through many other mask retailers out there. So yeah, go ahead and grab one of the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 2009 Dream Sequence Michael Myers masks. And with that being said, I think that pretty much does it for today's video. In the next video, we will take a look at the second version of the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 Myers mask, but that does it for today. I love you all, thank you for watching, have a happy Halloween, and see you next time.